everyone. My name is Dio Morales, your host of the Gold Squadron podcast, and we're coming to you live from the top four, yes, the top four of the Dathomir Galactic Championship qualifier. We got Andrew Prevot versus Filip Vukic. Super excited for this matchup. We got the Nan text, the list that people have been dreading, versus a contender, a surprise, a new hope? Question mark? This TIE aggressor list should be interesting. But before we go too far, let's remind everybody that for all of these Galactic Championship qualifiers, we've been teaming up with different content creators from around the community, and this round is a Firestorm Squadron Firecast team up. How's it going, Firecast? I completely failed when I forgot to change my Discord audio, or actually no, I didn't. Let's try to bring them in one more time. Let's try it one more time. Actually clicking the correct button for them. There it is. How's it going, Firecast?
Hi, Jim.
All right, so my co-commentators are
Nick and Dom.
All right, the Choose Your Champion poll is up right now. Nick and Dom, how can we find out more about the Firecast? Let me ask that before I forget.
So the best thing to do is you can search for us on Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube. You'll find us there. It's the easiest thing to do. We do show up in searches.
I promise that they're the only Firestorm Squadron Firecast in existence out there. You will not find a confused result out there. But guys, let's go ahead and break down these lists.
Before you say that, you do say that, but you'll find Firestorm Squadron Forecast for some reason. But there we go. So we have got. I will go through Filip's list because I know Dom wants to talk about the Nantex. So we've seen this twice on stream already, which is really, really cool. So we've got Captain Feroff with Ruthless, Admiral Sloan, and the Hull Upgrade, which is a superbly good carrier if you want to stick a crew on there because of his ability to change a blank to an evade or any result to an evade as long as the attacking ship hasn't got a green token. And that is teamed up with 5 of these CNR specialist TIE aggressors. Yes, they are TIE aggressors and they do have dorsal turrets. So their time on target in the last few games that we've seen has been superb. So done amazingly well to get to this top 4 game.
And Andrew has bought probably the most talked about ship at the moment, the Nantex. And he's bought 6 of them. I4 as the Petronaki Arena Aces. All of them have got Crackshot, and 4 of them have got Predator. So a slight variation to the list that Bohan ran at the last Galaxies qualifier. He's chucked on an extra Predator and just gone, I'll spend all the points.
There you go. And this is something that we actually talked about on our last Monday's recording Gold Squadron podcast on stream. By the way, you can tune in every Monday starting at 8:30 p.m. Central. I had talked about, I was like, I know people were talking about, the race to the bottom for the bid. I was like, well, you know what? Why not just spend all the points? And you know what? If you guys want to start taking tech off of these Petronaki Aces, what if I just have more stuff than you? And that might give me the advantage here. And Andrew, obviously we don't know what matchups he's had so far, but so far so good. He's made it to the top 4. Now, here's my question, and Nick, we'll start with you. Who do you think has the edge in this game?
I mean, I asked the question yesterday in the chat during one of the games. I said, do we think this is an answer to the Nantex for the Sloan Swarm? I don't know. I think the position is really interesting. I'm hoping that the aggressors can do it. I think with their, I know the Nantex have the time and target, but it does drop them down to 2 agility if they use that tractor token, and they've just got less health. It's a question of whether that Andrew can use that bullseye arc to get that extra damage through and get those extra shots in. But
all right, and what do you think, Dom?
Now, I must admit, I'm one of these players that has been experimenting with Nantex since the points have dropped, and I've been running my own variation of Grievous and 5 because I just like Grievous. I think he's really cool. And I've played against the Rack Sloan Swarm a few times, one against Wuta, and the Nantex can burn down Rack really quickly. So I think this version with Ferof and the Aggressors definitely have an edge over Rack. You've got that extra ship. They've got that additional time on target with the dorsal turret. And Ferof can get to some interesting places that Rack certainly can't. And also being a medium base can try and at least not be in so many bullseyes in a single turn. So I think my head says Nantex and my heart says the Aggressors this game.
Well, right now, there are still 4 minutes and 20 seconds left to play Choose Your Champion. By the way, if you don't know how to play, you can check your balance on GSP points, which, by the way, you get those just by watching, or if you've subbed, you get extra points that way. But essentially, everybody who's watching has some points. You can check by exclamation point points, and you can wager them by typing exclamation point bet. You put a space, and then you type 1 or 2. 1 is a vote for Andrew, 2 is a vote for Filip, and you put another space, and then you type as many points as you want to bet. You can bet up to 10,000. You could also write the word all, A-L-L, and that'll give all your points, or up to 10,000 points, whichever one is lower or higher, I guess. Up to 10,000. Anyway, right now, looking at the bets, we actually are 50-50 matched right now between the two lists. People have been able to watch Filip win 2 games over these last 2 days. Looking at the tools he's got, we've seen, honestly, I would say, looking at both games, I think he played better in our last game that we just saw 75 minutes ago. I think he played really, really well compared to that Sloan matchup that he had. And you know what? You know that Filip brought this list to answer the Nantex. Additionally, I'm curious, what are your thoughts on Andrew's deployment, setting up these 2 teams of 3 on opposite parts of the board?
Hey, I feel like a heel interrupting. There's
right.
Some technical issues. Filip is asking if it's possible to reload the game. His ping is preventing him from taking actions and such, or at the very least, pause the timer.
Okay, let's pause the timer.
I figured since it was your table, I'd let you handle it.
No, it's fine. Nick, pause the timer, please. Okay, let's... All right, the dials are set for this turn. All right, you know what, guys? Give me a second. I'm going to mute myself. I'm going to also turn off Discord audio. I need to go talk to the players just for a minute so that we can settle on what we're going to do. So please stand by. All right, to people watching right now, we're on standby because we're having one of the players log out, log back in. They're having a bit of a technical issue. It happens sometimes, not a huge deal. We might need to have the player reset their dials depending on what happens, how technology chooses to be. We'll put it that way. But we're having him just do a quick restart. We should be back here in a minute, so please stand by, all right? Let's go ahead and we'll leave you guys on the table with some tunes, and we'll doing it. All right. For anybody who wants the information, essentially on his screen, the only thing he sees are the mice walking around. That sounds like a local issue. So we'll wait just for a little bit. All right. Heading back to the screen. Oh, okay. That could do it. No problem. All right, cool. So more issues. This is something that can happen sometimes. And honestly, for as many of these events as we've done, this is the first like bigger thing. He's just restarting his computer. Not a big deal. We'll get the restart going. The timer is paused, and we'll get things going. Hi, Brandon. See you in the chat. So right now, I have my ears on Discord so I can hear the players as they get ready to go. But we're hanging out. For anybody who is just joining us, we're actually in the top 4 right now. We'll go ahead and take a look at the positioning on the table. You can see right now the timer is paused because we're waiting for Filip to go ahead and reset his computer. Had a little bit of technical difficulty. Looks like there was like a Steam update tried to push itself through while he was playing, which may have caused an issue. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. We should be able to get it squared away here in a little bit. I'm not stressed. Are you? We're fine. This is Gold Squadron. Slow jams. So you know what? While we wait, let's play a game. Okay? We're going to play a game. We're going to play a game of Pictionary. All right? A game of Pictionary. You guys ready? All right? Game of Pictionary. Mods, you got to be ready for this one, all right? All right. All you got to do... Oops, wrong button. Sorry about that. So here's our canvas. Okay, can you guys see this? Can you guys see the X? All right, cool. All right, great. I have to decide what I want to draw. It's going to be Star Wars related, of course. Star Wars related. Oh, actually, we might be ready to go. Filip is back in the Discord room. Here we go. We'll try to do it. We'll try to do it quickly as we go here. Here we go. I'm not an amazing artist, which makes it absolutely amazing. It makes it more fun that way. What do I want to draw? Okay, I got it. I know what I'm drawing. Okay, have that open. Have my reference. Got it. Angry, you guys are just guessing random stuff. Oh, wait a second. We might just be able to roll into the game, which is great. You're drawing from a reference? Yeah, man. So let me go talk to... Is it looking better, my friend? No problem. Are your dials still set and all that? It's letting you control it? All right, cool. Just test it. Like make a token go out or something, just to see. Just make sure something put a focus on it or something. All right, cool. All right, that looks to be working. Excellent. All right, you guys are set. All right, let's party in 3, 2, 1. Nick, you can go ahead and start that. Or yeah, you can hit the timer. You got it. Let's play. All right, I'm going to go back to the commentary booth. Back to the booth with you, Dion. All right, we're back here. We got to shift over our audio so that we can hear our co-commentators, but we're going to continue here. Thank you for rejoining us. Anybody who may be watching in the future from our our edited feed, but we just had a little bit of technical difficulty, but we're back, which is fine. Sorry, no Pictionary there, but it's X-Wing time. You see that those aggressors hit the gas, 4 forwards, taking focus tokens. Let's play dodgeball. That's right. Again, I'm joined by my Firestorm co-hosts. How's it going, guys?
Hello.
All right, so it looks like this is an interesting change in his strategy. You see Sloan going through that gap in the clouds.
I think he's going to get, with the way the Nantex are spread out here, it looks like he's trying to get the jump on one half of the list. And kind of keep Sloan in a position where he can decide where he's going to go a little bit. And he may be a little bit of bait as well. I'm not sure. I say Sloan, it's obviously fair off with Sloan, but I'll refer to it as Sloan like all the time.
Yeah. You might also just be a little bit conscious that the Nantex can do this, circle the board, and do have that final salvo style advantage if that's the game that they're playing towards. I don't think they are, but that might have been in Filip's mind and wanting to try and cut maybe slightly into the board to try and catch something in arc and not let that opportunity happen.
Now, something I do want to mention here about the Nantex, for maybe somebody who hasn't been familiar with them, you're not sure how it works. So you'll see that the Nantex are taking those tractor beam tokens. So the way it's worded here, it says that you cannot rotate your turret to the back. And then this is where things start mattering. After you execute a maneuver, mind you, notice it does not say after you fully execute. It's just after you execute your maneuver, you may gain 1 tractor token. We're going to stop right there. So the tractor token allows you to basically boost forward or barrel roll yourself, with the penalty, of course, of taking -1 agility. And then you continue to perform a rotate action, which means that the only way they can rotate their arc is by taking the tractor, because there is no rotate action on the card. That's important to note. Additionally, if they are stressed because of either going through a debris cloud or some other trigger, such as being stressed from Sloan, let's go ahead and say that they're going to be stuck with that arc there as well. So should be interesting. And what do you guys think is going to be going on here? I noticed that yellow one kind of peeled off from its initial group.
I think Andrew very sensibly has realized that the Sloan and the aggressors can very quickly try and pounce on one of these groups. So I think he's just trying to bring them back together. Yellow's come through the gap. You've got blue and red can come in that gap between the gas cloud and the debris at the top there. And you've got pink, green, and brown can all just do those hard ones. Brown probably not a hard one because that probably hits the debris cloud. But the pink and green definitely can hard one. Brown can come in. Yellow can come back down. And blue and red can come round as well.
Do you think they're trying to make a little kill box for Faroff, who's decided to peel off here?
I think he is. I think that's what he's looking at, and I think Filip will probably see that coming. It'll be interesting to see what he does. Whether he goes slow with Faroff, maybe utilising the full stop maneuver to keep him slow for a couple of turns, whilst those aggressors catch up.
I agree with Don completely there. I think Faroff does need to sit back here and give the aggressors time to get around that debris and get back in. We saw in one of the games yesterday with the Sikhs, the danger of kind of engaging in this column formation that they're going to be if they do a hard turn towards the top of the board, where it could be very easy for the Nantex to isolate 1 or 2 of those aggressors and put some heavy shots into just 1 or 2 ships without much in return. So Filip here is going to have to manage those positions and spread out his ships again to get that proper kind of row formation he wants, where he gets multiple ships engaging to 1 or 2 Nantex as opposed to the other way around.
Agreed. Yeah, that debris right there in the center of the board, right next to the formation of the aggressors, is going to be a bit of an issue because you can't like hard 2 all of them because you're going to have to utilize the barrel roll. But I guess you could hard 2 and then and then barrel roll them out. But you want to make sure that those aggressors meet whatever target is the one that they're going to go at with Faroff. You don't want Faroff in there by themselves. Do remember, though, that the TIE Reaper is required to do that one forward or one bank because of the ailerons before doing the stop. So we'll see if that's in enough range to possibly get peppered with some of these range 3 shots. And here we go, aggressors on the move, hard 3s. Actually, that brings that green aggressor a little bit closer to the action than I thought. But like you said, we are creating that column formation with the red and the orange aggressors being in the back row.
Yeah, and they could very easily miss out on this engagement. And yeah, Faroff, he went the one forward.
Oh my goodness, he's going for it.
If did go for the full stop there, he might have had some cover from the gas cloud there as well, from yellow and blue and red.
I wonder if the plan here is just to, I mean, I don't know, that's really aggressive, because by the positioning, this tells me that he's trying to bring Faroff like in before the aggressors.
I wonder if his choice is, let's get Faroff in early, try to wither an early engagement, maybe try and get him then through and out the other side.
Right, yeah, because you got that really cool bank move and then a sloop. It means it was really hard to pick that sloop if he does get behind the Nantex. But also, because the Nantex roll I4, he's actually still a really good blocker. And I know, okay, the Nantex can barrel roll off with the tractor beam and then still get a shot, but it does deny them the token, which then triggers Faroff's ability. So it could be a bit of that there as well.
All right, so we're getting that push forward there. Could be just out of range or through the cloud going into Faroff. We'll find out when those arcs are posted. Actually, looks like the Nantex arc is to the right now, so does not even have a shot coming in from blue. The question is, where is green, pink, and brown Nantex coming in? We'll find out soon, and we'll see if yellow is going to be banking in and trying to be a part of that fire squad. Hot, yeah, fire. Hot. See what I did there?
Yeah. It does look like he's got blue and red set up with those arcs facing that way for the next turn, next engagement, because he can do those turns back in towards the engagement and have the bullseyes potentially being able to line up and have that arc facing towards the side where the aggressors currently are.
All right,
so
and
trying to kite it looks like.
Yeah, exactly. Just trying to make a little kill box there. Thank you to KC Kid. And deciding to maybe not engage. He's actually barrel rolling to the outside, extending the range. If he has a shot, it would only be on Faroff. But I wonder if we're going to see another barrel roll to the outside to delay the engagement a little bit.
Well, I quite like this for the Nantex because the aggressors, they can't. I'm still not up on the aggressor dial. So 4 straight is white on aggressor, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm fairly confident. Again, the aggressor is going to have the issue where Faroff's actually going to be in the way of them getting the speed up to get towards these Nantex. So I think Faroff is going to have to peel off away and let the Nantex maybe turn inside here.
It's very interesting because Andrew's basically just gone, I can see where you're going to come in, and I deny having that engagement at this point. That's not how I want to engage. So we're going to come out and we're going to try and pull you right through the obstacles and catch you on my own terms.
And here we go. We got our first engagement. Range 2. It is through a cloud. Faroff has a focus. No ability will trigger on Faroff. We'll talk about that once that becomes relevant. And that is 1 hit. No rerolls there. Faroff should be fine, especially having a focus token. And is safe. Next shot comes right here. Another shot. This one is range 3 and is just barely obstructed because of the angle. Faroff likes that. If he can get out of this without taking any damage, it is a win. He's not going to spend the focus, keeping it for defense. We'll see if Faroff's attack is obstructed.
Also, spending the focus means he'd automatically trigger Ferrof's ability.
Mm-hmm.
So with the gas cloud, it's a guaranteed 2 evades.
And here we go. This is non-obstructed range 3. No tractor here, so it is 3 on 4. Oh, forgot to turn up the gravity to avoid some of those. We're going to do that now. There we go. And spends a focus. No damage in this initial engagement. Could somebody saying ruthless? You cannot ruthless friends because you have to have those friendly ships at range 0 to 1 of the enemy ship that you're shooting. 2 crits.
I think that was actually just in response to first time caller's question, Dion. He was just asking what talent was on the Reaper. So people was just
well, you know what? I'm gonna pretend like my response was correct, and we're just gonna move on.
Yeah, that's fine.
No, yeah, I didn't catch that. Thank you. All right, so no damage in that initial engagement. Now, here's my question to you guys: who do you think won the positioning battle? Like, who do you think is ahead? Just looking at the board right now. And actually, you know what? I'm actually going to make that a poll on screen. Give me a moment. You guys can answer 1 or 2. What do you guys think?
Tom, go ahead.
Okay, I actually really like where the Nantex are at the moment. He's not taking the more obvious engagement at that point. He may well have been thinking that the Reaper again was going to go a bit slower and didn't want to necessarily take that risk. And he's got lots of options here to go round the gas clouds, with the aggressors having those obstacles more in their way, especially with the debris cloud just to the right-hand side of that blue aggressor, being slightly problematic for some of those ships to try and come around and engage where the Nantex are moving to. So I could see some of those aggressors maybe just going straight and using their dorsal turrets to cover that. But it gives the Nantex the option to come around there and try and get the bigger shots on, trying to line up some of those bullseye arcs.
Yeah, I don't like agreeing with Dom. People will know that if they watch our stream. Unfortunately, I do agree with Dom. The Nantex have got a better position here, and they have more options to do what they want to do. And I think that the aggressors are kind of tied into this spot where they can't really go through Ferof. They can't. A few of them can go straight, but as I said earlier, that blue and orange are going to be blocked to get where they really want to get to start putting some pressure onto the Nantex.
Oh, it looks like our poll is not working. I'm super sad. Let's try one more thing. There it is. Try all the tricks. It worked. So type 1 or 2 in the chat. Who do you think is winning the positioning battle? And I'm sorry, while I was working on that, who did you guys say? I missed. Did you guys both say you guys agreed? I just forgot which one was it. I didn't catch that.
We agreed on the Nantex, yeah.
Agreed on the Nantex. All right.
What's your view, Dion? Do you agree with us, or do you see it slightly differently?
Honestly, right now, I really do like the positioning of the Nantex. I think the question is, this round, where does Filip go? Like, if he decides to, because I think he's in a position where he could potentially reset the board, right? He can take Ferof, go out, utilize the maybe some one banks or something on the aggressors and say, you know what, I'm going to draw the Nantex closer, see if we can pick one off at range 2 and maybe not have them all pointing at the entire swarm. I don't think he should go through this gap between the debris and the cloud. I think resetting might be the best choice and pick a different engagement lane.
I would definitely agree with that, because the other issue that Filip has at the moment is with Ferof being I3 and those aggressors being I2, Ferof has to wait for the aggressors to move before he can make his maneuvers. So he's just kind of in the way of the aggressors at the moment. And I could really see Ferof doing like a aileron bank towards the top of the board and slooping past the aggressors to sit back in behind them and letting the aggressors do what they need to do.
All right, well, looks like Filip is choosing to be aggressive, going 4 forward with the green aggressor, and this smaller squad, the 4 aggressors staying behind Fair-Off. I wonder if green is the ruthless bait, and there is the sloop.
I think it was also partly just to leave room to let Fair-Off do that maneuver option and let him get where he rather had him, because then again, green can do the slower maneuver next turn. The other aggressors can do the faster speed, catch up, and have them all back together again.
I'm really curious if this is going to be some ruthless bait. We'll find out.
That's a very good shout. I like it. I mean, talking about catching things at range 2, they're going to be at range 3 probably, or they're going to be skirting around the side. But it does mean that the aggressors can take that right-hand turn next turn if they want to, and get into that place if the Nantex decide to skirt around the outside of the gas cloud, with green following up behind. And Sloan, as he's done in the last couple of games, can just sit at the back and be happy with the slower maneuver.
Yeah.
Another interesting thing
Andrew might be pouncing here.
You just mentioned Sloan. The green aggressor could also be the bait to try to get one of these Nantex double stressed, and then after that pounce with the other 4 aggressors on that double stressed one. Obviously, you don't necessarily I don't think Filip wants to trade 1 for 1, but the Nantex are worth more than the Synars points wise, but could be maybe looking for a trade there.
Yeah, the dark green Nantex, of course, has come in with his hard one barrel roll, changed his arc to point forward, and has that green aggressor in his bullseye. So he's got the 3 dice shot. He's got Predator and Crack Shot on that green Nantex as well.
It did look like Andrew was a bit worried about rotating his arc and taking that tractor beam this turn. Needs to use it to just get out of range here.
A note, just a couple of people asking in the chat. I saw Tiny asking. The other table has 6 Nantex as well, slightly different build, versus 3 drones. So also CIS, 3 drones, 2 bombardment bombers, and Grievous. So we have 3 out of our top 4 lists. Words today. Lists are CIS.
More coffee, Dion. More coffee.
At this point, I've had enough coffee. I can't drink anymore. my stomach is in full, super full. Just the words are just not coming today. Happens. All right, bullseye's on. You can see it there.
Does look like Fair-Off might have a shot as well, though. Hard to tell with angles. Actually, no, probably not. Just out.
And with him having Predator and Crackshot, it also helps him in some way choose how much damage he wants to do and whether he wants to use Crackshot if it becomes a bit appropriate.
Here we go.
Yep.
And there is the Crackshot trigger. Flips the charge. Getting some damage into that green aggressor. And what's in the box? We got a loose stabilizer, forcing a straight maneuver unless that aggressor is willing to take some damage. And just checking the range there, kind of seeing where things are. Did the official engagement, and here we go. Side arc shot for this aggressor. Excuse me. This Nantex going into the green aggressor. I'm getting really frustrated with myself right now. Can you hear it? Can you hear it in my voice?
Yep.
Here we go. 2 dice.
Oh, nice.
As it is only a 2 dice gun with the turret. Has to decide whether or not to spend the focus. Does. That is aggressive. Natty's out, baby. Okay.
That's it.
The Sinar is happy about that.
Sorry, being behind the gaslight there, I think from the other 2 shots, if we come back alone, I don't think that's a shot he needs to worry about for that Nantex. So I think a 2v3 dice, he should be okay.
From downtown, 1 out the box. Re-rolling. Spending for 2. The aggressor will have 3 and a focus. Interesting choices here. Does spend the focus in order to not take any damage. Will have a range 2 shot into the pink Nantex, but of course that Nantex is not tractored, so it's going to have 3 agility. But Nantex aren't done. Has a just barely range 3 shot onto the blue aggressor. Here we go. Only going to be 1. And that is safe.
Did blue and orange both have a shot back to that blue Nantex?
Not sure yet. I don't think with the angle they'll have a shot, but here we go. Last shot for the Nantex here. Only 1 hit. Got it. All right, definitely could have been worse for the TIE aggressors. TIE aggressors, it is their time to shine. Fair off, no range. You were asking about that earlier. Just the angle makes it so it just doesn't quite work. And we'll see what order he activates in. First aggressor, no shot. Second one has an obstructed through the cloud.
He's got unobstructed at blue.
Very nice. And it's deciding to go at blue. This one is tractored, so we'll only have 3 dice. So 4 would be normally, -1 because of the tractor. And that is 1 hit. No tokens here, but rolls what he needs. Just barely out of range. And decisions here. Going into pink. Maybe some people were wondering why not green. We'll talk about that in a minute. All right, no dice there. So statistically, you have a better chance of doing damage to a 3 dice with no modified shot versus someone who has 2 green dice and a focus. The focus is statistically always better than an additional die there. The ceiling is higher on the 3 of 8 dice, but if you're just looking for your best chance to do damage, it's going to be the one without tokens in that case.
So I actually think that with the lack of damage on either side there, really, I think this has put Filip in a much better position this round.
I agree. 100% agree.
So he's got the damage. The blue stabilizer and green. So he's going to have a little bit of an issue, but a 1 or 2 forward isn't terrible for that aggressor up there.
No, you know, I gotta say, I actually love the aggressor's position right now because I think that the Sinar Specialist, the green one, is going to be able to just move up, bring the rest of the formation right behind them, have coverage from the cloud from those Nantex who are coming out through the rear, and probably be able to take green and maybe also brown out if he gets a little bit too aggressive.
Yeah, and that's where some of the Nantex maneuver options and choices from the last round now hampers his choices this round. He can't just continue his circling because that will leave green and brown in too much of a sticky situation, 2 Nantex versus the entirety of the Sloan Swarm. So he's got to engage with those Nantex. He's got to bring them in and start getting shots. Brown can probably go a little bit slower with a slow bank maneuver, trying to stay behind that gas cloud. But I think the green Nantex is definitely going to have to do something a bit bigger, maybe a 3 bank or a 3 hard back towards the red board edge and try to give himself as much room to maneuver and stay away from those aggressors as much as possible.
I really like the 3 hard out of that board edge. I think that's probably a good call for that green Nantex. Just to get out of there, have his reposition options with the tractor. Okay, he won't get a shot, but he's probably not being shot either. Or if it is, it's probably range 3.
And as we're waiting here, I want to remind you that this top 4 game in all of our matches today have been brought to you by Curled Paw Creatives. Use that coupon code Dathomir2020 for 20% off. I want to thank everybody for joining us today. We have 627 people from around the world. Thank you for watching. We have one more game after this. We'll find out who wins the final of our match. I know a lot of people are curious about some of the other matches that have been here. Dion, has the stream been all Nantex? Absolutely not. We've seen lots of creative list building choices, and we've been trying to feature them. Have the Nantex been successful? Absolutely. They are a part of the meta. They are definitely a weapon out there, but people have brought answers in multiple different ways. And again, I don't think they're going anywhere, but I don't think we need to cry yet. The Geonosian overlords are not quite here. There are some answers out there.
And I think that's the thing. But, I mean, that was the same when the Droid Swarm first came out. People were like, well, how do we answer this? What do we do for it? And the Seer Swarm, how do we get past it? And people started to find solutions. And I think that's part of the thing in X-Men, right? That's why we change the points. That's why the meta changes. Why we bring new ships out. We just got to find that solution as to how we can deal with it. And then they'll try and find their way to get past it. We already talked about the bid at the start of the game. It can all change when somebody finds that trick.
Yeah, and one thing we did see during this event, which I thought was quite interesting, was we saw a resurgence in Dash coming back onto the battlefield, and some of the VCXs as well. Looking at something like Bartosz's list, where he ran Chopper in the VCX with Dash, having those big 4-dice guns as a potential thing to search for an answer for the Nantex, just hitting them harder with those bigger shots, where 3 agility becomes less prevalent when you're against 4 or 5 dice.
Absolutely. Just pushing through. Like, you know what? If I can just clear a couple of ships a turn, I don't have to worry too much about you.
Yeah.
That seems solid. Thank you, Psych7, getting us up to 207 subs. All right.
Nice.
Here we go. Aggressors, 2 forward, gonna take a focus, and it looks like these aggressors here on the bottom left are planning on maybe splitting up, or are we banking them all? Banking 1, banking 2, taking focus. All right, looks like we're splitting the angles just a little bit, taking advantage of the fact that the dorsal turret is there. But remember, dorsal turret only reaches out to range 1 to 2, and Fair Off beautifully fits right in
That's
there. Remember, no ailerons while stressed. That does clear the stress, the 3 straight. And it looks like that green Nantex hops over the green aggressor. Can't turn the arc to the back, but should be able to get a nice shot into Fair Off with the side arc if he takes a tractor.
He's still got to worry about red and orange down the bottom of the board, both having a shot on him, so he might have to barrel roll out of range 1 with that tractor.
Yes. A reminder for the Nantex, they don't have to move when they take the tractor, but they do have to tractor in order to move the arc. So you see the rotate first, then take in the tractor, and going to actually take the boost forward for a little bit of coverage from the cloud. I like it.
Yeah, it probably gets him out of the arc of orange completely. Red may still have a shot, but it's really close. And if he does, again, it's going to go through that debris cloud and put him back up to 3 agility.
One of the things I need to learn about Nantex is not forget that they can boost with the tractor beam.
But yeah, just as a reminder to people, of course, the tractor mechanics allow them to boost 1 straight forward, but they cannot do bendy boosts as per the boost action. So it has to be forward or a barrel roll.
All right, we took a 5 straight with the blue Nantex taking the tractor to move forward. Focus is the action. And I wonder if Andrew has identified one of the biggest weakness of the aggressor squad with the dorsal turret. While the dorsal turret is amazing, its biggest weakness is the fact that it doesn't work at range 3. So if the Nantex can continue picking at the aggressors at range 3 with uncontested shots, that seems like a solid move to me. Like he's consistently just creating space.
Definitely, he's just. I think you're right, but based on how he's playing, he's definitely trying to get out of those arcs, get the range. And he's doing a really good job too. Filip's just trying to spread his arcs to where he can. It's almost like he's trying to get back into that kind of 2x2 formation on the bottom side, down by and spread out wide, like we were talking about earlier. So he's not in that column anymore, and he has presented a lot of arcs these Nantex, and the Nantex are working to stay out, as you say, into range 3, where they can still have at very least 3 agility if they got a tractor, or potentially more if they don't have to.
Yeah, it's definitely sensible in terms of the Nantex just trying to stay away, because in those side arcs again, of course, the dorsal turret is only range 1 to 2. So if he's staying at range 3, because his is a primary turret shot, he can get the shots in, and the aggressors can't return fire.
All right. Oh my gosh, I almost fell down. I was trying to get out of my chair. Apparently, have I not been drinking caffeine? I thought it was caffeine, not alcohol. All right, so all right, so we have had all of the Nantex move. I believe we got the rotate there, taking the tractor. And what's going to be the movement there?
Barrel roll for the bullseye, maybe. No, staying. Still staying in.
Get that range 3. It's like I want nothing to do with range 2. I'm gonna take my extra dice and go.
Yep.
And it is time for engagement. Here we go. The green Nantex, looking at all the options. I mean, really can shoot any of the ships minus the green aggressor. And the call is to go into the Sloan carrier. Of course, that is the correct choice. Here we go. Range 1. 3 dice off the side. 1 of each. Not going to spend the focus. 1 result. Here is the response. Got it. Again, reminder there, Faroff's ability, if you would have spent the focus, would have given an auto evade. But I think also with the shots coming in, wants to protect just a little bit. And we have a bullseye shot coming in from that top aggressor. This is the top Nantex. This is the brown. Only 1 hit, but does this one have Predator? It does. Reroll. And able to spend the focus if desired. Follow your heart, Andrew. Follow your heart. Nope, just 1 hit. Staying conservative with the expenditure of tokens. Got the 1 evade.
I think worried about the return fire there with Faroff and the green aggressor both having shots back.
Notice that the green aggressor did spend the focus because of the crack shot on every single one of these. So Brown had 1 hit, 1 evade, and overspending to avoid the crack shot. Here's our next side arc shot. Gonna go into the Sloan carrier, range 3. 2 hits. Faroff has 2 evades. And Natty's again. Just out of range here on the red Nantex. Sorry, pink. Colors are hard. Plenty of options here for the aggressors. Say that again?
That's why you're a music teacher.
That's right. Nope. That's going to be another 2 hits. And maybe a threat of actually no shots. There's no threat of shots. You can spend that with no problems. Spends a focus for defense. No damage. So far, nothing's happened on offense. But looking at some of these ranges, you can see that aggressors are not going to have very many shots. And going into the blue aggressor at range 2. Does have a focus. Another 2 hits. And those, I think, are going through because he had to spend the focus already on a previously incoming shot. That is a shield and a card. Down to 3-hole there. We'll get the response now.
Critically is these 2. Sorry. I was just going to say, very critically, the 2 damage into those aggressors aren't enough to get any points yet. So it's chipping away, but nothing quite on the board at this time.
That's right. Here we go. Faroff going into the red Nantex. That's going to be 3 after spending the focus. Only 3 dice because of the tractor. Normally would be 4. And 1 of those are going through. This is first blood on the Nantex squad. Red down to 3 hull.
Oh, has he got it?
Yeah, he just barely has brown on the top there with the dorsal turret. 1 hit. Didn't have a focus anyway, so blank doesn't feel as bad. Oh, almost got it. Not quite. That's enough to avoid taking damage. All right, next one, we're going to have primary shots here using that front arc. These are obstructed. I didn't think there was any that were not obstructed. Checking the side arc, out of range. Again, Andrew doing a good job of range controlling. And look at a focus fire onto pink. Spend the focus for 2. The cloud effect will be in. Oh, gonna take a damage there. Slipping in a damage. Good target selection there by Filip, because now he has another follow-up shot from blue. While he doesn't have a focus, starting to whittle him down. Pretty good. And the reroll. 2 hits. Oh, and those are going through. You guys got to be more specific, please. I see numbers. I'm seeing numbers and not any specificity. Be more specific so we can actually, there's a lot of shots going on.
No, I think it was the shot into brown. Looking back at it, I think it was when green shot brown. Brown wasn't tracted, so brown did have 3 agility and rolled the right number of dice.
Okay, fantastic. So it didn't matter anyway.
No, because red was range 3, so he couldn't shoot red with the dorsal. So
yeah.
Green shot brown, so it was 2 versus 3.
Yep. All right. So irrelevant though, because no damage happened. So.
Yeah. The dorsal was just out of range. Sorry for red.
Yeah.
Which is the
cool.
intended target for the first shot. So again, I think Filipus is definitely the better of that exchange.
Yeah, he got pink down to 1 hull. Got half points.
Yeah, he definitely has got the better of that exchange. But Filip's in an interesting position with what he does this turn. You've got 2 aggressors that are just going over that gas cloud. Just no question about it. Quite happy to go straight over the gas cloud. And probably try and get in the way of some of the Nantex here. But you've got these Nantex now circling, coming from almost 6 different angles, and are really going to try to start pulling the Sloan Swarm apart. And it'll be interesting to see how Filip combats that, whether he just sticks to his guns and tries to catch one target, delete, rinse and repeat, or whether he starts splitting up his angles a bit more, so he's always got options open.
Yep.
I know we're kind of starting about the start of the game.
Go ahead, take it.
Yeah, we're kind of talking about the start of the game where he's splitting up those two halves. You've got blue and green Nantex both heading towards the bottom of the board. Yellow can turn back easy enough. But with the other 3 kind of still up that end of the board, it's going to take a turn, probably or 2 maybe, for green and blue to come back. Now, I know that blue can do the 1 hard power roll easy enough, and green can do the probably 1 hard and boost with the tractor and get there. But every turn they might be that little bit further away, and I think that's seems to be what Filip is trying to achieve, is to get up there and focus on 1 half of the list if he can. Sorry, Dion.
No worries. So something I wanted to bring up as well is one of the risks with these Nantex is when they spend their focuses on defense, them plus Attractor, like they are susceptible to variance. I think really both of these lists can be quite susceptible to variance. I see some people talking about dice in the chat. I mean that's the beast. Like they are the Nantex specifically. They're literally built to say, look, I'm going to take worse defensive shots. We're going to be worse on defense in order to mod my dice, or get a better shot, or have better positioning. So you have to take that risk. It's they're two in the same. Now I know that the yellow and the blue aggressor sitting in front of the gas cloud are not going to have any actions, and I think what I'm expecting Filip here to do is make sure to at least put them in a good position to either block, take up space, or be ready to be ruthless fodder for the Admiral Sloan carrier.
Yeah, and yellow and blue also, they've got their arcs pointing right. So even if they do just go quite gently forward, they've got that massive arc coverage that could be a problem for pink to deal with, and yellow if yellow decides to turn him.
All right,
I
looks
love
like...
that quote in the chat. It's an ugly list. A bug list.
I like it. I like it. All right, here we go. Should be ready to go. And it begins.
And just whilst they're doing their maneuvers, Dion, just to let you know, we've had word that Farn has won the other top 4 game.
Okay, so we got one
Farn
Nantex list
Nantex
into the
the
finals. Yeah. Oh, man. Crazy town. Rolls a crit going through the debris. Honestly, went slower than I thought.
Might be leaving space for Sloan carrier Verov to actually get round the front, because with one straight ailerons on a hard turn, he can get round the front of those aggressors.
Yeah, and both those aggressors rolling crits for that gas cloud, so neither of them take a strain token.
That feels good. Well,
Here
for
we
Filip.
see Filip is starting to split the aggressors up, as orange is turned to try and just cover that dark green Nantex, and keeping his side arc open, but brown coming in as well.
All right. It's really hard to watch this game and come away thinking Nantex are more than a bit underpriced. I mean, yeah, they definitely are. I mean, we're not arguing that. They are definitely underpriced. But again, we have featured quite a few lists this weekend that had answers. They just, a lot of them bumped each other out. They faced other Nantex squads. And also, you can't argue with the fact that Andrew, we know that I know Fawn. I've seen him play. He's a top-tier player, bringing what is an S-tier list and doing really well. And just watching Andrew's play, you could tell that he is quite calculated. While I don't know him personally, you could knows that dude knows what he's doing, for lack of a better term. All right, so I don't think the sky's on fire. And also, we have new ships coming out for Crate, and essentially we only have one big event left before things get shaken up again with the new ships. And additionally, FFG could, I don't know if they would, they could actually adjust things for the Nantex. I don't know if they would, though, because then they would be admitting that they pay attention to online play, and for them, they've said that the online play doesn't exist, right?
Yeah.
It would be an interesting move, though. All right, Hamslow,
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I must have misunderstood. But anyway, point still stands.
Yeah, I think Nantex do feel a little cheap for a lot of people, because I think a big part of it is because they're running 6 Initiative 4 ships, which we can't see any other faction bringing the same number of ships with that level of initiative.
All behind 3 agility as well.
But I think I think Hamslow made a good point, though, that this game, not at any point has it felt like these aggressors didn't have, certainly a win condition, they didn't have the option to take this game to the Nantex. I think it's been very interesting seeing that, yes, Nantex we know are good, we know they're doing well, but there definitely are answers out there, and it's interesting seeing what sort of answers and solutions players are coming up with.
Elite Malone saying, I don't know why they would ignore these huge events. Well, they can't officially address that this exists because the mouse out there, you know. That's fine. It's cool. It's cool. But yeah, they definitely could. You know, all they have to say is, after internal testing, just say it. FFG, come on. Max, I know you're watching. I know you're watching. Just cite internal testing. Little wiggle and a fix. We're fine. Here we go. We got our first shot coming in from the yellow Nantex in the bullseye, which means that Crackshot and Predator are alive. Nothing on the Predator.
Not risking spending that focus token there seems like a sensible option.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Next shot going into the orange aggressor. That could be 3 hits if he spends it. Nope, staying conservative with the defense. Interesting choices here. Oh, okay. Well, I think you... I mean, oh... He held onto the focus. I think you spend it as well, maybe? Or is he going to take the damage?
He's taken the damage, and he's so he's shield hit into orange, and he's keeping it for his attack back into green.
All right. Hoping to push through that focus token that the green Nantex has. We continue down the line here. The red Nantex taking a shot. Has a couple options. Could go into either yellow, the unfocused one, or range 1 at green, and the choice is the green one at range 1. That seems pretty solid. Hit crit going into an unmodded aggressor, and both of those are going through. Hit crit could die on a double damage. Let's find out what it is. It is a hull breach, an irrelevant crit in this situation because one more damage means that the green aggressor is dead. Grim Wolf 03. Do you send all your internal meta and tourney figures to anonymous email at FFG? Side nudge. Nope. Nope, they don't want it. One crit out there, and ooh, that's going in. A direct hit being dished out to the blue aggressor, down to 1 hull there. Not dead, though. That's good. So no ships off the table yet. Fair off, no shots. Going back into the strained Nantex. This is going to be a 3-on-2. Only 1 crit. Oh, excuse me, hit crit. Misread that. 1 out the box. 1 evade. Can he get past this crit? No, that's going in. Red Nantex going to be half points. And it is a damage engine.
That's not great for Nantex.
No, they like their hard turns. Yeah. Here we go. 1 of each. They're going range 1 into the pink Nantex. Only 1 hit, as that one did not have any modifiers.
Just the 1 health left on pink, right?
Yeah, but Natty's out, baby. Natty's out. Again, Filip is ahead right now, hoping to push through this last damage with the range 2 shot from the yellow Sinar into the Nantex. There it is. Oh, just barely out of range 1. Again, pink has only 1 health left. Just waiting for the roll. He has 3 dies. Did it read it as range 1? No. Okay, there you go.
Now they were looking at the picture.
And spends... What?
Doesn't have anything to spend. He went through the gas cloud.
Yeah, nothing. Okay, it's like, wait,
Yeah,
what?
I think he's just realised that. That's fine.
Oopsie doopsie.
Yep.
All right, cool. Has a couple of shots left. I mean, he's going to keep plinking away at pink maybe? Nope. He's actually going to reach for red to see if he can take that one out. Ignoring the gas cloud and a focus. I mean, I think that's a good call. 1 crit from downtown. Natty's out, baby. And I think we have 1 shot left, and that's the range 1 going into the green Nantex from the orange aggressor. There it is.
Yep.
Range 1, primary gun. Hit crit. Has the focus. Enough. Would have only been...
Thankful. Very thankful he did not spend that focus token on his attack. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Would not have been worth it. Not a good trade there.
Right.
So let's take a look at how are things going now.
So say Andrew has been plinking away. He's got 2 aggressors down to 1 health. Blue has taken 3 damage, and green has taken 2. Plus has that whole breach, which is basically an irrelevant face down damage card. Orange is 1 away from halved, so he's plinking it through. But he, again, like we've seen in the previous games with Filip, he's not being able to get any consistently good shots onto Ferof. So he's having to whittle down and have the risk of taking the stress from the Sloan trigger, because he just can't get the shots onto that Sloan carrier. And that's where the Reaper and its additional movability with that ailerons and being able to have options after seeing where certain things have gone has been a real bonus to Filip's list.
And I think we're going to have Ferof kind of do the 1 bank towards pink and then loop again out to that outside side of the board. Back towards Filip's own table edge, so he can come back in and just get his arcs all the way around where he needs to. But right now, he's very possibly just in the way of the blue and yellow aggressor, who probably want to turn on to. That is already damaged. Red's already quite damaged. The red Nantex, sorry. So it's going to be a bit of an issue for him to get round, I feel.
Yeah, the one problem that Filip also potentially has is where Ferof is going towards his board edge and the blue board edge over on the right-hand side of the stream there. You've got oranges facing the wrong way, and of course Sloan only triggers if you're in range 3 of the Sloan carrier. The ship that dies is in range 3 of the Sloan carrier. So if orange gets trapped off by himself, that is a real turn where all those Nantex can just converge in and remove orange from the board while Sloan is just a little too far away.
And green still has that loose stabilizer, right?
Stabilizer is...
No, he fixed it.
Not loose anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, it's why he had no tokens this turn, because he fixed the loose stabilizer.
Real quick,
Dimbling off.
Mr. Sperry, please lower the green aggressor down to 1 hull. He has 2 damaged cards. Accident. They are stacked there. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, these Nantex really have some big maneuver options to try and grab orange whilst he's out on his own, away from the rest of the list.
And we got a bump there from the yellow aggressor. Man, these aggressors not having actions is definitely something that's going to hurt defensively. We might actually see a rotate. He's debating. Waffle. Which way are you going to go? And he's going towards the back. There it is. You know, that's another strength of the Nantex is the fact that most ships have to give up an action or sacrifice an action in order to rotate and then not have a modifier for their attack. The Nantex able to rotate and have an action and a reposition all in the same turn makes them, of course, really powerful here. The aggressors don't have that option, turns that arc to the back, and of course doesn't have a focus. We did see. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to say, as you mentioned with the rotate actions, just about every other chassis compared to the Nantex, if they do have the option to link that and get the token as well as a rotate, it's also giving them a stress, which the Nantex aren't getting. So it then limits and takes away some of their maneuver choices over the next engagement and next turn.
Yeah, the only other one being the Jedi, of course, but they do it at the cost of force, which is another offensive mod or defensive mod, depending.
All right, looking at the positioning of the brown Nantex, it is sitting in a couple of arcs there, but there is a fire squad ready to respond. The orange aggressor is also in a couple of arcs.
I think brown is really going there to just try and remove orange, as we said, because he's likely to be outside of range 3 of Sloan. He's got 2 health left. You've got the Predator and Crackshot with that range 1 bullseye arc from brown. And as you can see there, I think that seems to be Andrew's choice, as green has given up his shot on orange to take a shot on red.
I love the comment here from Grimwolf in the chat. Says, how did the Bugs lose the Clone Wars with ships like these? They weren't the main fighting force in the Clone Wars. That's maybe why. They were considered workers. They're worker bees, essentially.
They were pacifists. They were just making weapons. It's fine.
Is this why the war on Geonosis was so key?
Yeah. Not to take away from Andrew's list at all, what he's playing. I think he's actually playing it really well.
He is.
I mean, there is always a level of skill that's needed to kind of leverage the abilities of a list. And based on the maneuvers and the positions he's been, that I couldn't fly this like this. I know Dom probably could because he's quite good with Nantex. Me, on the other hand, I would not be doing this at all. So I think that it's important to note that he has got to top 4 fighting through, what's it, 100 and something, 160?
172 players, I think, we started with yesterday.
To be here. So we can't take away from how he's actually playing the list as well.
Oh, he's doing great. Absolutely doing great. I mean, it's one of those things we talked about a little bit earlier. You not only have to have the tools to play the game, you also need to have the decision-making skills, the assessment of your opponent. He's doing an absolutely great job, and it's not a guarantee. You're guaranteed nothing by bringing a certain list to a tournament.
Yeah, and I think he's also used the time very well in terms of managing the time with his engagement, because we're down to just over 9 minutes and change left of the round.
And here's that bullseye shot. Has a Predator. There it is. That's his first conversion on Predator. Will he spend? And the answer is no. Yes, he's going it. He's going for it. He's like, you know what? I'm going to try to clear this guy out. I believe the crack shot is still live there. 1 evade. Hit, crit. Doesn't even have to worry about crack shot, actually. Which, actually, he had already spent. Isn't that one only has 3 hull anyway? Well.
Yeah, he didn't need to spend the crack shot, but I think he's just got carried away and gone, I've got my crack shots, let's use it.
All right. Well, hopefully that doesn't come back to bite him, because he already had enough damage there. extra death. All right. And now we have a couple of range 3 shot options. Oh, that one just barely in range 2? No, it's also in range 3. Nothing there if he doesn't spend the focus.
Oh, he's gone for it. He spent the focus.
Nice. Going strong.
And safe.
All right. A couple of more range 2 shots. Continuing into the red aggressor.
Is that unobstructed as well?
Yes. Yes, it was. Doesn't get anything there. One hit. And now we have, I think this might be the last one.
I really like Andrew's work of when he takes a shot, flipping the dial back over so he knows he's done it. That can be
Yeah.
a real problem when you're fighting a swarm. It's just a really good thing to practice and learn.
Turret arc is forward. Range 1 shot. Spending the focus.
And that's red 1 away from halved as well.
Does this Nantex have Predator?
Uh,
I don't think so. I think this is one of them that without Predator.
is he red?
No, it's blue. He's got crack shot but no predator.
All right. Spends a focus to avoid taking that half points damage. A couple people in the chat asking about the Sloan trigger from the dead orange aggressor. Orange was too far away from Sloan. We had talked about that actually earlier. You have to the ship that's dying needs to at least be at range 3 from Sloan in order for the enemy ship to get it. The enemy ship's range is irrelevant. It could be, I mean, not irrelevant. It would be range 6 at the most. But yeah, what matters for that check is the range of that friendly ship that dies. Aggressors are up. No shot there. Again, dorsal turret, only range 1-2. The weakness showing there just a little bit. Has an arc to the back. Looks to have an barely unobstructed shot into the pink one, which only has 1 health left. Trying to sneak in that final damage. No modifiers on this shot, though. Only 1. Any pain here will do, and gets enough.
That's it.
Should have a primary shot here. Probably takes just the range 2 into the brown Nantex. Yep, just outside of range 1. Oh, could be reaching for the red one as well. Oh, he is. All right, he is going for. It's risky business, but I can applaud the gusto. Trying to see if he could have nattied into some luck there. Well, even natty 2s wouldn't have done it with that defensive roll.
Yeah, and it's interesting as well, isn't it? Because at that point, do you try and plink 2 damage into red and try and remove the ship? Or do you try and plink 2 damage into brown and get the half points and try and get some more points on the table?
Well, I mean, it always feels better to get ships off the table if you can, because they're reducing the number of shots coming in. But yeah, at this point, I think the value would probably have been to take the ship off the board. I think that gives you better chances.
Yeah, I mean, with just under 4 minutes left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And 23 points in the difference.
Yeah.
Can I do
Yeah.
that? I can do maths, it's okay.
Any Nantex going halved or off the table at this point tips it back in the aggressor's favour. But you do also have the red aggressor is 1 away from half. the green aggressor is 1 away from dead, and the blue aggressor is 1 away from dead. So, and then of course you've got pink is 1 away from dead as well.
And the Nantex position now is just so good. They're such in a good spot to just follow in, whereas all the aggressors just seem to be facing not quite where they want to be.
Yeah, and watching Andrew's playstyle for a lot of this game, he's been very conservative. He's been very wary of keeping the range control. So I could quite easily see a lot of these Nantex not necessarily engaging, staying quite far out of reach, trying to keep to that range 3 fringe engagement, because he is slightly up. And as we said, we're down to just under 3 minutes left of the round. So he doesn't need to try and force an engagement.
And Farov here is stressed, so not going to have access to ailerons. And yeah, so we said, what was the difference right now? 23.
23.
Yeah, honestly, this last turn will obviously... Filip still has a chance to win it. He needs a little bit of dice luck and needs to find places where he can use his primary weapon at range 3. The blue aggressor, I think, will not be able to really contribute to the fight. The green aggressor has to do something, I don't know, will not really be able to contribute to the fight. Maybe you turn down and hope to clip the green Petraki ace coming through.
Yeah, maybe that big 3 hard back down towards the edge of the board, trying to catch a ship is probably the only chance that aggressor's got to try and contribute to the last turn.
Yep. Farov's not going to have a good shot. I mean, I guess you try to chase pink to get those points because you only need 23. So one of the a half, 2 halves make a whole. That'll do it.
Yeah.
Maths. Here we go.
Yeah, and Andrew is really looking to try and just keep the shots to a minimum, and probably with red where he is again a little bit out on his own, even if he just gets half points on red, that just boosts his points a little bit and tries to give him a bit of a cushion if something does go wrong for him and he loses a ship or half of another one of his ships.
I think you just take the focus and hope that brown...
Definitely to watch back and look again at where those main decision points have been, and coming through that center block of 3, kind of where... Oh, it's a failed barrel roll.
Huh. Yep, that did not fit. I was thinking maybe just take the focus there and hope that the brown Nantex jumps over and you have a range 1 shot. But who knows? He could be thinking about this as a possible defensive option, or as if that barrel roll had fit, could have possibly been a blocking maneuver for the green Nantex. Of course, the Nantex not super susceptible to blocking, as they can still rotate that arc.
Yeah, but that barrel, as you said, it may well have been tried to get a little bit of a car park going with the green, yellow, pink, and blue Nantex, which might have just edged Farov into being able to contribute to that engagement if those ships had got stuck, not finishing their positions where they were expecting to finish.
All right, and there's that 3 hard we talked about, trying to get around the cloud. Somebody's cell phone is getting some interference into their microphone. I don't know if somebody's phone is ringing. All right, got the bump. So the barrel roll there would have given red a shot. So smart idea. Again, we don't always know the thoughts here of the players. Filip, of course, if that would have fit, would have had a shot with the side arc or front arc. And yeah, red is going to get ganged up on just a little bit.
They said that barrel would have probably got the block there on green as well.
Mm-hmm. I would have at least avoided the bullseye shot.
Yeah.
Why did Brown not barrel roll left? Because he probably doesn't want to take the tractor, is my guess. Wants to keep those dice. Of course, the barrel roll to the left would have gotten him out of yellow's arc, and just maybe a missed trigger here. Not a missed trigger, but a missed opportunity.
Yeah, it might have gotten him out of yellow's arc, but he might have been wary of going into blue or green's arcs.
All right. And we have a rotation here. Gonna take the tractor. Might scoot forward to avoid the shot from Faroff. Oh, putting himself on the debris.
Interesting.
By the way, doesn't trigger the ability because gas clouds specifically mention executing a maneuver.
He still has to roll. We spoke about this earlier. I'm sure he still has to roll for strain, but he doesn't skip his perform action step.
Yes. Sorry, got those mixed up. And this is why you bring a team. double, triple check. Takes the focus. All right, Nantex trying to put a nail in the coffin here. 2 hits into the red aggressor. Two evades. Okay. Little aggressor that could. You know what? Just keep nattying out, little guy. You can do it.
I believe in the aggressors.
We have faith.
And spending the focus.
Yeah, just going through all his options and seeing the
Natties,
ships.
baby.
Oh,
Just keep rolling the natties. I'm sure Filip is giggling right now. He sees the sunrise coming above the horizon.
the little aggressive that could.
All right, so this is going to be an obstructed shot. The cloud is there to aid. 1 hit. Spends a focus. By the way, remember, he gets to keep the focus because barrel rolling onto the cloud does not trigger the skipping the perform action step. So just 1 hit on this. Defense should be fine. Got it. Actually has 3. This one's going to be obstructed at red, most likely. Yes. Another 2 dice. Another 2 hits. 3 evades available. We're getting people calling that aggressor pilot force sensitive. Here we go. No, couldn't quite stick it out. No focus there. I mean, if he would have focused, that's going to be half points. Down to 1 hull on the red aggressor.
This is another 14 points to Andrew. So that would take him up to 70 points, which means we're looking at 37 points from Filip. So he needs to half 2 or kill 1 and half another.
Mm-hmm.
Or
I don't know if he has a... Yeah, I mean, that helps. Got the evades. There should be 2 hull on the red aggressor, or 2 hull or 1 hull. Let's see. Are there any cards that are stacked there? Yeah, 2 hull on the red aggressor, Nick. All right, he went at pink from downtown. Here we go. It is obstructed. 3 hits. This is against 4 with a cloud and a focus. Oh, no damage after the cloud. Went for the Hail Mary there. That evade brought to you by Gas Cloud. And yeah, here we go, going into red. I mean, that was his chance. Honestly, that was a chance to get some big points. 1 crit could push it through with a double damage here. Not gonna get it with the evades.
How many shots we got left?
I think that might be it. Yellow can shoot into red, and I think that's going to be the last one. Actually, no, sorry, blue. There's actually a couple more left. Going into the brown, ace. 1 crit. 2 evades. And this one only has a shot onto the blue. It's going to be obstructed with the gas cloud. Hit crit. There we go.
That's too many green dice because he's tracked it.
It's checked it.
But it's range 3 and obstructed. So it would have been 5. So it becomes 4, yeah?
Yeah,
Should
you're off
be.
by.
Yeah, you're odd 5.
All right, we'll go back. Wait. Yep.
Yeah, still fine. But
Yep. Spend the focus. He's fine, but just keeping it on the up and up.
he just used the gas cloud, so he's still got the focus.
Ah,
But
never mind.
If he had rolled 5 blanks, 4 blanks rather, he'd take a damage.
All right, and the final shot of the game here. Just hoping for just, I think a little bit of what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know.
Miracle?
A miracle. Yeah, there you go. that's a word. That's a good one in the situation. Well, congratulations to Andrew making it to the final. Yes, we have a bug on bug final. Interesting situation here. We're going to find out if the bid is going to matter in this situation. Stick around here. We're going to do a couple of giveaways, and we're going to ask the players if they want. We would not have an extended break. It would be a short break, only about 10 minutes, rolling into the final here.